Happy Sunday to all of you. Welcome to week 11 of NFL Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Incredible opportunities all over the board. 6 great guests. Poured a little Kraken in my coffee. Let's get right to work. Mr. Alex Pavone coming to us live from New York. Our first guest at 11:10 a.m. I'm trying to bring him on a few minutes earlier so that we get a little bit of extra time. Then Clint Star, the Die Hard MMA podcast, will be up second. Up third, making his NFL Pub Hub debut, MMA Locker Room Millz in the house. Then Pistol Pete Loshak returning to the show after his 2-1 record in week 1, 10 weeks later. And I gave Peter 3 games to pick. He preferred it that way. He prefers me just sending him the games he wants us to attack. So I gave him what I think are the 3 most interesting games. And at this point, I have no action on those 3 games. So there is maybe a little selfishness there. Then Sharpie's Bets back in action. And finally, the leader on our top 5 cappers board, Millz will be our 19th capper to grace the show here. Skee Profit will be closing up the show at 12:25 p.m. We have moved to only giving out sides and totals that are available right now, and that's made things quite tricky, especially for guys like Skee Profit or C-Mac or Babano, who usually close up the show. Big Ragu, those guys who go up last because the market is moving so quickly. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, I love this show so much. We have 6 different cappers on every single show. We track everybody's picks, so it's all about accountability and honesty, and most importantly, getting paid. Truth teller in the house. Great to see you. Mr. Fun Monk, thank you for joining us. There's Real Deal Prime, Andrew and Rosa ready to rock and roll. There's Professor Chris in the house. Razor Sharp Picks, who's been on vacation, took his daughter to Disney World. Wonderful. Can't wait to have you back in action this week and still running hot. You can't take the winners away from Razor. He can go down to Disney World, still deliver the winners. John Kilpatrick in the house. Great to see you, John. There's Robert Allen back in business with us. Sammy, Jay, Culmer ready to go. There's Turnsy in the house. Nuke Worker, Eric Jones, all you guys, thank you so much. Nuke Worker saying rain in the forecast. We're going to go over the very biggest news spots here on the card before we bring in our first guest. We got Dave ready to eat, Steve, Tony Cobbs, Tariq, AB says still laughing at the red pants on the Kraken pick. Yeah. My girlfriend was like, those are shorts, not little red pants. Mark Schillingberg, Gerardo Hernandez, Blackdoor King, Slatsy, great to see you. Only Bet the Plus, all these great cappers joining us. Deacon Mike in the house, Vic, Puzzler, Swaggy D. What a great group. Let's just go over a couple things here to get this show started before we bring on your first guest. First off, I did lose like an ass on the Falcons +7. So I'm now 64-60, down 2.85 units. We've had 3 straight winning weeks. God damn. I want the black. I want that cash. And I didn't have a good weekend in NHL. So I'm on the Bears +6. You know what? Actually, why don't we just go over the most important news right now before I go over my action, just so we're all on the same page. First off, Jared Goff, doubtful. And we don't even know if he's going to be dressed at this point. But ex-Connecticut Husky and Eastern Kentucky Colonel Tim Boyle will be getting his first NFL start. DeAndre Hopkins will miss his 3rd straight game with a hamstring injury. Kyler Murray supposedly closer to getting on the field than he was over the last 2 weeks. And we don't know at this point because Cole McCoy is questionable to play with a pectoral injury, but he was a full participant in practice on Friday. Khalil Mack is done for the year, and Akeem Hicks is out for the Bears. 2 players that I thought, whoa, they're going to come back from the bye a little fresher, feeling better. That is not the case. So it got down to +4.5. I'm on the Bears +6. It got down to 4.5. Then that was announced, and it went back to 6. And then now +5. So that's okay. Alvin Kamara out for the Saints. Cowboys star wide receiver Amari Cooper ruled out. He's tested for positive. And then my final 2 additions are all around this. Steelers defense will be missing Joe Hayden, TJ Watt, and Minka Fitzpatrick. And there's a couple defensive tackles that the Chargers are missing. Not marquee names like that, but okay. Slatsy says Lamar, still not sure if he's playing. I do think he will be playing. There's Short Shot Timmy in the house. Swaggy D says Bears +6 easy. I like that. Lil Domo on vacation. or still rolling with us on the beach in Jamaica. Little Domo knows how to do it, man. Knows how to do it. Okay, Slatsy says, I know one capper who's going to cry when CFL season ends. Look, we still have the playoffs. We've won 9 straight bets in CFL. And it puts a big smile on my face every time I say that. Okay, so my action here. Bears +6. Houston, Tennessee under 44.5. We're going to go over all of where the money is, the odds movement when we get to all of our guests' action, not from mine. Kirk, Greg, great to see you, Kirk. Brooklyn Funk Project. Brady says, I stress and caution on the Bears today. They have significant injuries on defense, more than just Hicks and Mack. Baltimore wins this by margin. Fields will struggle here. And Brady was saying that on Tuesday. So obviously there's concerns. We will go over all of this. Jaguars +6.5. That got down to juiced 6.5 on the other side for the Niners. The Niners were -120 last night. It's back to -110 each way. Bengals -1. Bengals Raiders over 49.5. Seahawks +2.5. Giants +11. Then in the middle of the week, I added the Dolphins Jets under 44.5 and the Jets team total under 19.5 at +100. Based on Flacco and what Sal has been saying about his expectations of Flacco. Then this morning, I added the over 47.5 in Steelers Chargers and the Chargers team total over 27.5. Bebsy, this on Tuesday, he moved on Detroit, Cleveland under 44.5, Dolphins -3, Cincinnati, Las Vegas over 50, Cowboys +2.5, and Arizona, Seattle under 49. Last night, this morning, he added Thielen anytime TD at +160, Gesicki over 51.5 receiving yards, and he's going for the double up rushing prop on the Cowboys with Elliott and Pollard, 66.5 and 33.5 respectively. All right. Let's get to work. Happy Sunday to all of you. I can't wait to bring on your first guest of the show, coming to us from New York City, right now ranked 8th out of our 18 cappers, 7 wins and 6 losses, plus 0.4 units. 2 of his 3 shows here have been winning shows. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Alex Pavone in the house. Pavy, how are you, man?
Hit me. What's shaking, buddy? I'm good. 3rd cup of coffee, trying to get into it here. Had a rough go last night, Jimmy. Had a couple sips, bud.
Okay. All right. You look like you're in the darkness over there, wherever you are.
I actually installed 4 lights. I don't know how that's happening, but yeah, maybe a little dark. Sun is, here we go.
Let's get right to work, my friend. Thank you for joining us, Alex. Let's get right to work. So let's move over to the market moves. Here we go. You start your card with 1 p.m. Eastern action. Green Bay Packers 8-2, 4-2 on the road at Minnesota Vikings, 4-5, 2-2 at home. We're at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. For the Packers, Aaron Jones knee, David Bakhtiari knee, wide receiver Malik Taylor abdomen out. And Bakhtiari only has that 3-week window, so he has to start next week. Then we have wide receiver Alan Lazard shoulder doubtful, which of course means that if he doesn't play, he didn't practice all week, then Cobb and Valdez-Scantling gonna take all the action. Then Rashawn Gary and linebacker Rashawn Gary and defensive lineman Kingsley Keke concussion questionable. And so, all right. Oh yeah. So with Gary gone, then they're already missing Zadarius Smith. So Gary, they're praying Gary's going to be in lineup. For the Vikings, offensive lineman Wyatt Davis, ankle. Defensive back Brashard Breeland, groin. And that's who they want to line up against Devontae Adams. So that could hurt them. Let's move over to the market here. We have Packers opening up at -2.5. Now they're -1 or -1.5, depending on where you shop. And when we go over to the cash flow, we have 38,484 tickets in. 31% of the tickets on the Vikings, 51% of cash on the Vikings. There been sharp action on them all week. And we've seen it go from 2.5 to 1. Then we have 44% of tickets on the under, 69% of the cash on the under. Alex Pavone, take it away.
Well, I hit you up, I guess, immediately when I saw this line, and I was like, this is it. This is the pick, the Vikings, +2.5. I got them at +2. I hesitated, and then it dropped to 2. I think the Vikings got some guys coming back. Do they not? Can you check if Patterson and Smith are back? I believe in the secondary.
They were on that active injury report.
I thought they were coming back, and that's obviously If they are back, those are two key guys in the secondary. The Vikings are
back.
They are back, and those are two big guys in the secondary. The Vikings they're 4-5. They could be 6-3. Those first 2 weeks they lost. I know they missed a 30-yard field goal winning or lose against Arizona. They could easily be 6-3. Everybody's going to remember the Viking game on prime time Sunday night where they, Cooper Rush or whatever his name is, came in and got the win, and people just automatically were like, "Oh, the Vikings are done." And then they lose the next game to the Ravens. So back-to-back weeks, people were off the Vikings. And then they have an impressive win last week. Now they're playing Green Bay, divisional rival. They always play Green Bay really well. They beat them last year, I believe, at Lambeau. Zimmer's a good coach. This run game is very impressive. Dalvin Cook, obviously, he's dynamic. He could catch out of the backfield. This Vikings team is good. Jefferson, obviously, he's a tremendous talent. I think that the Packers are going to have a tough time with the Vikings. The Vikings usually give them a tough time, and the Vikings are rolling right now. They need this game. They win this game. They're back at 500. Give me the points plus 2.5. These market moves where we get ahead of the market, they've been killing me the last couple weeks. The Eagles, the Colts, like just off the top of my head, the Niners. I got these, I beat the market and then they're losing. So the fact that it dropped to +1 and all the sharps are on it sort of scares me a bit. When all the sharps are on everything, I get a little nervous, Jimmy. I don't know why. I got the shakes. Is it the 3 cups of coffee or is it everybody's on the Vikings now? I don't know. But I like them at home. That's it. That's my pick.
You certainly the chat here is on the Packers, so I wouldn't be too worried at this point. I love these numbers. This is exactly where I want to be. 31% of the tickets, 51% of the cash. That's absolutely perfect.
You see the Packers under a field goal, people are just going to get drawn to it and just auto bet it. And I'm not going to be on that side. I'm going the other way. And they've covered like 9 out of 10 games, bro. Mathematically, I'm on the other side.
So now we have new rules that we've been implementing for the last while here. And that's that if we make a pick here on the show, we're going to give the market that's available right now, unless you tweet it out and, tag us. So At this point, the best I can give you is the Vikings plus 1.5 at -110, or I can give you the Vikings on the money line. That is at plus 105 at Sports Interaction.
I'll take him on the money line too. I'll get a little cocky because the chat's saying Green Bay. So give me on the money line. Little great
105 for the Minnesota Vikings. Gets Pavone's day started. Let's keep rolling. Alex Pavone coming to us live from New York City. We move on to the next spot, 1 p.m. Eastern. New Orleans Saints 5-4, 3-2 on the road at Philadelphia Eagles, 4-6, 0-4 at home. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 55 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour. As we said up the top of the show, Kamara out with a knee injury. Ty Montgomery out, wide receiver with a hand injury. Teron Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk. So you have here with Armstead, there 2 starting offensive tackles out. Defensive lineman Malcolm Roach, knee. And then we have Taysom Hill, foot, questionable. For the Eagles, offensive lineman Jack Anderson, hamstring out. Linebacker Davian Taylor, knee. Defensive end Derek Barnett, questionable. And they had hoped to get Kamara back. That is not the case. When we move over to the odds that we are dealing with as we speak right now, Philadelphia opening up is -1.5 favorites. That's moved to 2.5. In fact, Bodog and Sports Interaction have moved it to 3. The Eagles are now 3-point favorites. This total's gone from 44 to 42.5. When we get over to the cash, obviously the news of Kamara affecting this. Look at where the money is. 39% of the tickets on the Eagles, 29,191 tickets. 39% of tickets, 81% of the cash on the Eagles. 38% of the tickets, 78% of the cash on the under. Pavone, take it away.
Yeah, I did put this bet in early. I got it at plus 1.5. I like these rules though. Now I'm going to get it at +3 here, but in my book, I put it in at plus 1.5. I thought the Saints played really well last week against the Titans. I had eyes on that game. They came back. I think they got a lot of calls go against them, and they were still very competitive. The Eagles, for me, all year, they play well, and then it's a dud. They play well, and it's a dud. And this really boils down to Peyton and Sirianni. And I think, regardless, look, the injury to Kamara is huge. I thought Kamara was going to play. That's why I put it in early. Obviously, he's tremendous. He's electric. But I do have faith in Sean Payton, and I have faith in this defense. And I think they're going to come in, and their season might be on the line here, right? The Saints, 5-5, that division, the NFC is very, very, very tough, right? They need this win. Simeon was getting it rolling there late in that game. They were down big. He made, a couple really nice throws, a couple really nice plays there to get them back in that game, and they failed that 2-point conversion. Bad call last week. There was a roughing the passer when they intercepted the ball for a touchback. Went the other way. The Titans scored. That was really, really tough for the Saints. But I don't trust the Eagles, dude. They have one good game, and the next game, it's just a stinker. There's no consistency. Sirianni, again, not that he's a bad coach, but when you're going against an all-time great like Sean Payton, he's going to get these guys prepared. I don't think Simeon's a bad quarterback. I think Simeon's a decent quarterback. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, Jimmy. But this defense is still good, man. And I think a defense like this can win you games. I don't think Philly's offense is anything special. So I'm just if I get +3 now, I'm going to take the Saints. Sucks Kamara's not out, but I already put it in. So there it is.
You do have a choice here. So I'll just offer it to you very quickly before we move on. And that fucking penalty, that penalty on that negated the interception in the end zone. I just counted it. I was going to lose because I had the team total under 23.5 for the Titans. And now I cashed it by hook. But at that point, I was like, I'm going to lose this bet. I was just so angry. And and it's going to happen. Brutal. It's happening every week. These
it was
issues brutal. With hitting the quarterback are just ludicrous right now. Okay, so you have a choice here. You can have +3 at -116 available at Sports Interaction, or +2.5 at +106.
Oh, I'll take +3 -116.
+3 -116 in business. All right, let's move on to the next spot for Pavi. And let's speed this up a little bit because we do have 3 more spots. We move on to San Francisco 49ers, 4-5, 3-1 on the road at Jacksonville Jaguars, 2-7, 2-3 at home. We're at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, 74 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 11 miles per hour. For the Niners, Jermichael Hasty, running back, ankle. Defensive lineman Maurice Hurst, calf out. And then running back Elijah Mitchell, rib, finger, doubtful. If Elijah Mitchell can't go, then Jeff Wilson Jr. will be getting the early downs, and then usage will come in, as a passing down back and a late down back. So let's move over to the action here, or the market. We have the Niners opening up at -6. They're now -6.5. And then cash flow on this spot, 29% of the tickets, 36% of the cash on Jacksonville with 30,313 tickets in, 42% tickets, 70% on the over. That's the kind of numbers I also really like. 29% of the tickets, 36% of cash on Jacksonville. Take it away.
Yeah, first of all, Elijah Mitchell not playing is huge. He was great last week. The public's insane. Last week, no one wanted the Niners. No one wanted to sniff the Niners. Now everyone's on the Niners. And I agree with you. The tickets, 29%, 36% the money. So the Sharps and the house both need the Jags, which is definitely the side you want to be on. I think Jacksonville's playing with purpose. I've been on the Jags for 4 straight weeks, not including the bye week. If you told me at the beginning of the year, Pavi, you're going 4 straight weeks riding the Jags, I'd smack you in the face. I would have never. What an insane thing to be doing with your life. They're playing well. They're obviously at the bottom of the league, but they're not tanking. They have their pieces and they're playing well. They could have threw in the towel last week against the Colts. They came back. So I like the Jags at home, especially with that Florida humidity. Oh, they're going to get gassed second half. I think the Niners are. The Niners, although they had an impressive win last week, there's still deficiencies in that secondary. I think the Jags can exploit it. I'm not saying that they're going to win, but it's going to be a competitive game. And I think because of that San Fran win last week against the Rams, they're a little overvalued going into this spot. So I'm taking the Jags +6.5. And that's that, Jimmy.
I love it. I'm on it as well. But you get a better juice. I got -110. You get -104. Jaguars plus 6.5, -104 available right now at Pinnacle. Next spot on the board. I can't wait to hear you talk about this game. This is one of the games I've given to Peter Loshak. It's the game everybody wants to talk about. Dallas Cowboys 7-2, 3-1 on the road at Kansas City Chiefs 6-4, 3-2 at home. We're at Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri. 54 Fahrenheit, sunny, 9 miles per hour. Offensive tackle Tyron Smith ankle. Cornerback Nashawn Wright hamstring. Cornerback Calvin Joseph personal are all questionable. But I don't know what you're hearing about Tyron Smith, but I don't expect him to be on the field today. But it's over to the Chiefs. They're a pretty healthy group. They have cornerback issues with L'Jarius Sneed knee. And Armani Watts, sick, non-COVID, questionable. Let's move over to the cash flow in this spot. We have, oh, God, this game's going to be so much fun. 4:25 p.m. Eastern, this pops off. We have the Cowboys opening up at +2. They're now at +2.5. And then we get over to the total. This total opened up at 55, and it got up to 56.5, and now it's dropping. We see 56s and 55s on the board. When we go over to see where the sharp action is, we have 30,162 tickets in, and this is just heaven for fans. Not gamblers, but fans. 49% of the tickets are on the Cowboys, 52% of the cash. So we're talking, it's just, God, there's someone on either side. But 43% of the tickets on the under, 93% of cash on the under, and we're finally seeing that affect the market. We've been waiting all week for it to affect the market. Pavi, take it away, Cowboys Chiefs.
This was a Bebsy auto fade. I seen him put the pick in +2.5 Cowboys. I go, let's hammer the Chiefs. No, look, well, look at the money line. 64% of the people are on the Cowboys. I think during the beginning of the week, people were on the Cowboys. And anytime the public again is on the dog here, I'm gonna go the other way. It's a red flag. Look, the Chiefs, as horrible as they've been playing this whole season, last week they were tremendous. They're playing a Cowboys D that is not, their secondary is not good. And if there is obviously a strength with the Chiefs, it's their offense. It's Hill, it's Mahomes. I'm not rocket scientist. It's obvious stuff. Also Mahomes and Dak head to head. People are saying Dak could be the MVP. Dak's better than Mahomes. I think Mahomes takes these games personally. Like, he is a killer. He is a silent killer. And I know it eats him up inside when people are saying Dak is better than him. 2.5 Chiefs at home. They are going to just exploit this overrated Cowboys secondary. I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think they are going to just smoke them personally. Mahomes is the best.
I love the breakdown. It is so exciting. Lots of people coming in right now with their thoughts in the chat. We have other cappers talking about this game. I love the breakdown. I love all these breakdowns. Let's go to your final breakdown on the card. Cardinals 8-2, 5-0 on the road. Seattle Seahawks 3-1, 1-3 at home. We're at Lumen Field, Seattle, Washington, 45 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 2 miles per hour. As I said off the top, DeAndre Hopkins, a no-go. Offensive lineman Justin Pugh, calf. Linebacker Tanner Vallejo, knee. Running back Jonathan Ward, concussion, out. Tyler Murray, questionable game time decision. Defensive tackle Corey Peters, safety James Wiggins, safety Buda Baker, offensive lineman Max Garcia, quarterback Colt McCoy, all questionable. For the Seahawks, Jamal Adams dealing with a groin injury. He suffered it in practice. It's not what they want to hear coming into this game. Cornerback DJ Reed, groin. Linebacker Cody Barton, quad. Offensive tackle Jamarco Jones, back. Defensive end Kerry Hyder, calf, questionable. Hopkins missing his third straight game. We don't know about Kyler Murray at this point. Let's move on to the market. We have Arizona opening up as 1-point favorites. Seattle's now 2.5. Oh, it's done. So Kyler Murray must not be playing.
He's not playing.
The Seahawks are now 2.5 and 3-point favorites. So this must be
okay.
This must be game, set, match, and the total's dropped to 46. So Kyler Murray, there's no way Kyler Murray is in on this game. No way. Take it away, Cardinals Seahawks.
I got lucky. I put this game. I took Seattle on Wednesday at +118 money line. I think they were +2. I just got greedy again. A lot of greed. It's eating me up, Jimmy. I took a money line. I don't know the stat off the top of my head about Wilson losing and then the next game. It's something crazy impressive. He was horrible last game. He was rusty. I love Russell Wilson. I think he's arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league, top 3 quarterbacks in the league. Arizona, I knew this was Buda Baker being out is brutal, but I knew during the year, as the year progresses, Kyler Murray is going to run into some injuries. I know next week they got a bye. So I had just this strange feeling that they didn't, because they are 8-2, they're not in rush mode to be winning a lot of games. I thought maybe Kyler Murray, they're going to rest him an extra week getting into that bye week. And I had a strange suspicion that this line was going to drop. So this is a value pick on Seattle and Russell Wilson bouncing back. Has Arizona burned me when I beat him on a market move before? 100%. Am I scared? Yes, because Seattle doesn't run the football. Run the football. I mean, Carson's out. I understand that. Run the football. You guys are a one-trick pony. So I am a little nervous, but I at least, got them at plus money to win. I don't have to deal with the, them covering by a field goal or whatever. So this is on Russ to bounce back. I have faith in him. He's been doing it for years after a loss. So why would I not jump on board? And now Kyler out, Buda Baker out. Good news for me.
Agree completely. But now, because we're going with the market moves now, is this something that you want to leave off your official picks?
No, I'll do it. I'm not going to come here on the show and then pull picks back. What kind of coward am I?
You know what? Will Hill.
What's Will putting on that?
I don't know if that's live. That's from midnight last night. So they have minus. So minus. I'm sure they've moved it. I'm going to double check that. But Bet365 is saying minus 2.5 and minus 115. Let me see if I can give you that right now.
Throw that puppy in there.
Let me see if that's available right now. No, that's not available. That's stale as well.
All right.
So the only 2.5 I can give you is at Pinnacle.
Okay.
At minus 122. Other than that, we're going to deal with.
I'll do it. I'll do the 2.5 at minus 122. I know it's a little foolish here, but
there you have it. Alex Pavone in the house. These are on the show right now. He is sitting at 7-6 plus 0.4 units. 2 of his 3 weeks have been winning. He's on the Vikings money line at plus 105. Saints plus 3 at minus 116. Jaguars plus 6.5 at minus 104. Chiefs minus 2.5 at minus 110. Seahawks minus 2.5 at minus 122. Those are official plays. We got to move on. Pavone, you gigging tonight? Can anybody in the New York area see you working tonight?
Tomorrow, comic strip, Upper East Side. If I go 4-1, come say hi. If I go 2-3, don't even look at me.
All right, there he is. Follow him on Twitter at Mr. Alex Pavone. He used to have a big Twitter account that was all comedy, and then he switched over to Instagram. He shut it down, so he's rebuilding his Twitter account. Give him a follow at Mr. Alex Pavone. All right, let's get to work and bring on your next guest, the star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, a beloved friend of mine. Please welcome to the show, Clint in Business. What's happening, Clint? How are you?
Jimmy, what's up, buddy? I'm doing good. How are you today, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing absolutely great. I'm excited about this card. So many moving parts, but we've done all the work. So let's just get paid at this point. And then we're dealing with the markets for these official picks that are available right now. I know it makes it trickier on you guys, but everybody's under the same rules, and I think this is the best way to do it. Let's go. Take it away, Clint. First off, how was your night last night in UFC?
Came out on top, Jimmy. Came out on top. Nice little 2.9 unit win. Feels good to get the ship righted. I've been on a bit of a skid lately. One of the most beautiful spots I've ever called, like Babe Ruth calling the home run shot. A big plus 225 underdog that I said was going to lose the first round, and we would get a better number live. Got him at plus 340, and he came back and kicked some ass and cashed a ticket for me. So felt good, man.
Nice. Well, you've done well on the show. You are sitting here ranked 7th. You are one winning day away from cracking that top 5 because the first 3 spots are guys kind of moving away, but that 4th and 5th wide open right now for entry. On week 2, you came in, you went 3-2 plus 0.8 units. On week 8, you went 2-2 minus 0.15 units. You're sitting 5-4 plus 0.65 units. Let's get to work right now. You start your card in a fascinating game that isn't talked about. I think you're the only one actually that's talking about this game. So I'm so happy you are. Indianapolis Colts 5-5, 2-2 on the road at Buffalo Bills, 6-3, 3-1 at home at Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. We have showers. It said trace amounts of rain. So tiny little bit of rain, 48 Fahrenheit, but wind 13 miles per hour. And we have a healthy team. If you go to their injury report that's important for this week, you have 2 very important players on it, one on each team. You have Darius Leonard, ankle, hand, questionable, and Tremaine Edmonds, hamstring, questionable. Both are questionable and expected to play. Indianapolis opened as 6.5-point dogs. Ooh-wee. So now they're 7-point dogs or 7.5. There are 7.5s on the board for the Bills, but that's at plus money. Sports Interaction plus 109, Pinnacle plus 105. The total opened up at 50. It's now at 49.5. When we go over to the market here, we have 40,363 tickets in, 57% of the tickets and 71% of the cash on the Colts. Very interesting. Then 51% of the tickets, 68% cash on the under. Here we go. Clintus Maximus, as they call him. Take it away, Clint.
I'll be honest, Jimmy, I'm a little bit nervous about that cash that you're talking about. Anytime I feel like I'm being sneaky on an underdog, and then it turns out that I'm on a public underdog, it does not end all that well for me. So I'm a little terrified to hear that I'm not the only one back in the Colts here. But I got the Colts plus 7.
Clint, can I interrupt you real fast for some breaking news?
Go for it, Jose.
Lamar Jackson out. Illness. Not COVID, but he's sick, so he's out.
That sucks for my fantasy team.
Fuck yeah! Yeah! Hiya!
Did you bet the Bears there, Jimmy?
You're damn right I did.
That is great news. That is great news for you.
That's great news. You know what else is great about it was that all week I was like, God, I think we can get over that total. But what if Lamar's not going to be there? And I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting. So I didn't bet that. Oh, God, that feels so goddamn good. Clint, Colts,
Bad
Bills,
news for my fantasy league, Jimmy. Bad news. So, man, basically what we've got here is the Buffalo Bills have the softest schedule in the NFL. So there's one of 2 things going on here. Either the Buffalo Bills are just simply not as good as everybody thinks they are because they've been life and death a couple times, or they are just winning and getting out of Dodge. They're saving some gas in the tank for when they face real caliber opponents. Either way, it seems like the Buffalo Bills are almost playing to the level of their competition a little bit. The only teams that they really blow out of the water and run away from are bad teams. The Colts are a good 5-5 team, Jimmy. They're a solid 5-5 team with a good offense. The defense is a little bit sketchy, but the Colts can put up some points, Jimmy. Now that Carson Wentz has had some time with this offense, he knows the system a little bit better. I'm expecting things to be flowing a little bit better for Mr. Wentz there under center. Even if the game is a little bit sloppy today, I just think 7's too many points. Give me the touchdown. I think the Colts cover.
Well, let's just see what options you do have here with the Colts covering this, because you might want in on that 7.5. By the way, I love Jose's breaking news reports. We need a graphic for them. Bears are now plus 1.5 on Bovada. I absolutely love that. Okay, so you could have, and this is a great option. This is a huge option. Plus 7 at minus 105 or plus 7.5 at minus 116 available at Pinnacle.
Yeah, give me the hook, Jimmy. I'll take it.
Colts plus 7. Plus 7.5 at minus 116. All right. God, I'm pumped.
Now,
Next
Jimmy,
up,
I got to ask real quick. On the Ravens, you said the spread is now 1.5?
Yes.
I know it's not on my card, Jimmy. Give me the Ravens minus 1.5.
All right. Look at this. Okay.
Tyler Huntley is mini Lamar Jackson, Jimmy. The Bears are a bad team that had a comeback against the Steelers, who blow leads in every single game. Just because the Bears came back against the terrible Steelers team does not mean that they are a good team. The Ravens are still a much better all-around team than the Bears are. Tyler Huntley's about to step in Lamar's shoes and run train on these Bears. I apologize for going head-to-head with you, buddy, but at 1.5, I got to take that.
Wow, and so for you guys at Bet365, for instance, as soon as the news came out, they kept it on the board. It went to minus 3, but now it's also at minus 1.5. So you may be taking advantage of a overreaction here, which is exactly what Birdie says is happening here. This is a wildly fascinating.
Tyler Huntley is too good for that move, Jimmy. Lamar Jackson is not a touchdown move type of player. Give me the Ravens.
Ooh. this guy, you can tell he won last night, can't you? Can you just see the confidence emanating? All right, let's roll on, Clint. Next up for you, San Francisco 49ers or Jacksonville Jaguars. We already talked about the injury issues to the 49ers running backs. We broke them down in Pavy's segment. So let's just move right on to your action. Take it away. What's your plan here?
So basically, Jimmy, this is going to be the game where I watch on ESPN on my desktop. I'm not going to turn the game on. I'm just going to watch the numbers tick by because it's going to be boring as hell. Both these teams are defensively oriented. The 49ers have been awful all year, but it's because they've had a lot of key injuries at their defense. They're finally getting healthy, and we saw that last week, what they were able to do with a good, solid, healthy defensive core. I think they're going to make it hard for Jacksonville to move the ball. Jacksonville showed against the Buffalo Bills that they are built kind of the same way. If they lean into their defense, they can make it hard for you to score. I'm not sold on the San Francisco 49ers offense. They only have one or two weapons, and if Jacksonville can shut them down, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I kind of like the points on Jacksonville, so I think you may get that cover, but I think it's going to be like a 17-10 type of game. Give me that under.
Under 45.5 at minus 110. Under 45.5 at minus 110. And B-ball, by the way, liking that play that you're on with the Ravens moving on them late. By the way, I've mentioned this a couple times, but I love it. B-ball picked up 9,000 in a parlay last week, and just love seeing our guys get a nice big casher.
That's a baller move right there.
Yeah, $300 parlay, 5 teams.
Wow.
You know, not like a, he called it a lottery, but I think it was just good work. Good solid work.
That's good solid work.
Yeah, no luck involved. Good solid work. Okay, so by the way, Dennis saying the market is saying the difference between Lamar and Huntley is worth 4.5 points. I think it's closer to a TD. That's from Dennis Garcia. All right, so let's move on to your teaser before we have the NFL Pub Hub debut of MMA Locker Room. Clint, you have a teaser available now. I went over the numbers. It's still available now. Take it away.
Okay, so the first leg of my teaser is going to be that Cowboys Chiefs games that everyone's been talking about, Jimmy. Very fun game. Everybody's stoked on it. Can't wait to watch this one. I'm not going to be teasing a side here, Jimmy. I'm going to be teasing the total, which is something I don't do very often. The total seems a little bit high. When I made the teaser, it was at 55.5. I'm going to go ahead and tease that down to 49.5 and go over that total. Both of these teams just have lights out offenses. We saw the Chiefs get healthy on offense last week. They're going to be cocky. They are going to be confident. They are going to be ready to go run and gun the way they usually do. And the Cowboys, they've got the other digs on that defensive core. And you know what he's been doing is pick sixes, turnovers, forcing the issue. We have seen the Chiefs give up so many turnovers throughout the course of this season, Jimmy. And even last week against the Raiders, they had like 3 balls that they jumped on and recovered themselves, where a better defensive team probably would have flipped the field on them yet again. I think that leads to points. And then the other side of this thing is if Diggs tries to undercut someone like Tyreek Hill, he's either going to get that pick six or he's going to get burnt and Hill is going to go for the touchdown. I just think this is an over type of spot. I feel a little more comfortable getting this thing at 49 rather than at 55, but I wouldn't be shocked if we see 60 points in this game, Jimmy. I like that over for the first leg of my teaser.
Cowboys Chiefs over 49.5. Leg 1. What's leg 2?
Leg 2 is your weekly Vikings PSA, Jimmy. I talked about this a little bit earlier in the week, man. I think if you're going to play the Vikings today, you go with the teasers. Aaron Rodgers does to the Vikings pretty much as he does to the Bears, where he gets to run around in the end zone screaming, "I own you!" It's kind of been the same story with us, man. We just cannot beat Aaron Rodgers. So because of that, I have minimal confidence that we're going to come out of this thing with a win. Of course, I'm praying for my Vikings. This is going to be a good game. They're probably the best 500 team in the entire league, and they're clicking right now. As long as Zimmer gets out of our damn way and he goes for it like he did on 4th down last week, we are live to win this game outright. However, I think it's going to come down to a heartbreaking field goal situation, as every Vikings game does. I feel like we're going to be up with a 1-score lead in the 4th quarter, and Aaron Rodgers gets them in field goal position and forces this thing to overtime. So I think we're going to see some extra time in this game. I think it's going to be close, tight, and competitive. I feel much better about having +7 than I do about having +1, Jimmy. I'll take my Vikings in the teaser.
Vikings +7, Cowboys Chiefs over 49.5 is his teaser. Under 45.5 in Niners, Jags, and Colts +7.5 -116. And he made an addition, Ravens -1.5 at -110. Clint, we love you. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about your big show coming up in 24 hours, a little over 24 hours? What's going on in tomorrow's show?
Actually, it's going to be a little show tomorrow, Jimmy. There's no MMA this week. The week of Thanksgiving is focused on football. So if you want to come, kick back, hang out, have a drink. Of course, I'm going to be live doing my Monday show as always, but we're mostly going to be just recapping the previous week and then just kind of talking about some upcoming matchups and stuff that I find a little bit interesting. It's going to be a shorter, more relaxed episode. But then the week after that, we will be hitting it hard to try to finish off the year strong. 2 more UFC events, one of them a damn big one. And I need to end this year in a win, Jimmy. So we're going to be working hard for these last couple weeks.
I love it, Clint. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us. Follow our man at Diehard MMA Pod on Twitter. Thank you for joining us, my man. Have a giant Sunday, and I can't wait to do this again.
Thanks, Jimmy. Good luck, everybody. Get out there and cash some tickets.
There he is, Clintus Maximus with his shirt on in the house. All right, we bring on your next guest, finally making his NFL Pub Hub debut. We've been wanting this for a while. We finally get it. Please welcome to the show, MMA Locker Room, a.k.a. Millzy in the house. Millz, what's happening?
Hey, yo, Pub Sports. It's only one team, black or white. Only color that matters is green. We about to get this money, man. Let's get it.
Let's get right after it. It is great to finally have you on this show. You start your card and you have sides, totals, and player props. So you are all over these games. So I'm going to introduce the game. Why don't we, if you have a side or total, we'll start with that. And then we'll move on to a player prop idea. So we'll start with side total. We're going to start with, again, the San Francisco 49ers, 4-5, 3-1 on the road. Jacksonville Jaguars, 2-7, 2-3 at home. TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. We've talked about the injury issues, and it's time just to hear the action. For a reminder, this opened at 6. It's now at 6.5, and we just had Clint move on the under, and it was vouched for by a lot of cappers in the chat, and it's sitting at 45.5 right now. And if a reminder of the cash flow in this spot, 33,188 tickets in, 30% of the tickets, 36% of the cash on Jacksonville. I'm on Jacksonville, so is Pavone. And then we have 41% of tickets, 73% cash on the over. So bigger bets coming in on the over. Millsy, take it away.
Yes, sir. I mean, when we're talking about football here, I mean, this is what you want right here. I mean, you want the #1 draft pick, Trevor Lawrence, to come up and show why he's the #1 draft pick, right? But this ain't going to be that game. This isn't going to be that spot right now. Trevor Lawrence is coming off a horrendous game last week. I think he threw for 160 yards at a completion rate that was not even worth mentioning. So right now we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, worst scoring team pretty much in the NFL. I think they average about 16.5 points. San Francisco 49ers, they're not scoring too many points either. They're averaging about 24.5 points. Jimmy Garoppolo, is he a star quarterback? No, he's not. Is he a game manager? Yes, he is. But is he playing a lot better this year? He actually is, man. He's not managing games, and he's actually a lot more accurate passing the ball. So right now, I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers minus the 6.5. That's going to be the official play to get on the board for my book. I'm opening up on the San Francisco 49ers.
49ers minus 6.5. Let me see if I can get the juice down for you in that spot. 49ers minus 6.5. I can. Pinnacle hanging at a minus 106. So let's get you that with a low juice. 49ers minus 6.5, minus 106. We have Millsy making his debut here on NFL Pop-Up. He's adding a player prop to this Niners-Jaguars game. Take it away.
Yes, sir. I'm going to get you to that player prop real quick. First off, I'm taking Jeff Wilson over 77.5 rushing yards. You can get that at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code PUBSPORTS. Get your match bonus on. That's at a minus 114. Then I'm taking Deebo Samuel, anytime touchdown, at a plus 110. Those are all the lines that you can get at mybookie.ag. On top of it, San Francisco 49ers, playing away from Santa Clara, they're 3-1 right now. So I'm really looking for them to come out to Jacksonville and put the stamp on them and pretty much walk away with it.
So we have Debo plus 110 TD. What was the Jeff Wilson prop at?
77.5 yards at -114 at mybookie.ag. And trust me, use the promo code PUBSPORTS. Get your match bonus on.
All right. There we go. 49ers -6.5. Debo Samuel, touchdown plus 110. And we have Jeff Wilson Jr. over 77.5 at -114. Let's roll on. 1 p.m. Eastern. Green Bay Packers 8-2, 4-2 on the road. And Minnesota Vikings 4-5, 2-2 at home. By the way, I need to stop very quickly. We do have Sonny Vega in our chat, and he didn't want it talked about before it went down, and I'm not sure how much he wants it talked about in general. But major surgery done on the old noggin. And it's, whenever you're dealing with stuff like that, it's scary. And he's in our chat. He's back in action. He's better than ever, and I love him dearly. So we just want you to get healthy and feel good, Sonny. We love you so much. So it's great to see you back in the chat. He says they added to his brain. He says he's intelligent now. So we love you, Sonny. Great to see you and love having you in the chat. Okay, 1 p.m. Eastern, Packers, Vikings. We've talked all about this spot. Take it away, Millsy. I know you have a prop. Are you moving on the side or total?
Yeah, man. I got a side on this one too, man. When it comes down to it, man, Aaron Rodgers is on a fuck you everybody tour right now. And you want to know who he's taking along with him? His best star wide receiver. This is the last dance, folks. This is the last time you guys are going to see him here. So I'm taking Green Bay Packers straight. All right. I was thinking about doing it -2.5, but, it can't be a greasy game, divisional game. Kirk Cousins ain't trying to go out like that. So I'm taking Green Bay Packers straight, money line on there. When it comes down to it, too, the Vikings, their defense, they're dealing with a lot of injuries right now. So they're not going to be out there pretty much as good as they usually are. On the other side, I mean, come on now, man. If you don't got Aaron Jones, look at the other running back, A.J. Dillon right now. He's having a breakout season for the Green Bay Packers. And the Green Bay Packers right now, like I said, I believe they're on the F everybody tour. So Minnesota, that's just going to be the next spot that they're going to get that win at. So I'm taking Green Bay Packers. And then, yes, I do have a player prop I like in there.
Well, let's add something quickly here with the Packers. They're now just 1 point favorites. So -1 at -115 is available at Pinnacle right now, or the money line that costs you 6 cents more at -121. So,
yeah, I'll do the favorites. I'm good.
All right. So, sorry, is that the money line?
Yeah, I'm still money line Millz.
-121 on the Packers. And your Dylan prop, is that official that you're locking in right now?
Oh, no. It wasn't a Dylan prop. I was just giving props out to Dylan for just giving his rushing yards and stuff. So for my rushing prop, man, I got to stick to my boys, Adam Thielen over 4.5 receptions at a -161. Juice, pretty high, right? But this is that expensive lunch right here. You know what I mean? This is that lunch that you worked all week for that you deserve to eat. So go on over to mybookie.ag and use the promo code PUBSPORTS to get your match bonus on. Adam Thielen over 4.5 receptions. Go ahead and bet it. The Green Bay Packers, the last time I remember them having a great cornerback was Woodson and HaHa Dix. So ever since then, it should be a field day for them out there.
All right. That is locked in. Over 4.5 receptions locked in. All right, let's keep rolling with Millsy. We move on to 4:05 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati Bengals 5-4, 3-2 on the road at Las Vegas Raiders 5-4, 3-2 at home, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Bengals defensive tackle Tyler Shelvin knee, wide receiver Auden Tate questionable. This is the first time we've had the opportunity to talk about this game. Raiders fullback Alec Ingold knee, Nick Kwiatkowski ankle, cornerback Keyshawn Nixon ankle, foot. They're all out. Brandon Faxon finger, hamstring, running back Jalen Richards, ribs questionable. So Josh Jacobs was limited all week in practice with a knee injury, but doesn't have an injury designation. He's good to go. And then Yannick Ngakoue also had a back injury, but he was a full participant in practice all week. So he is good to go. I'm on the Bengals -1. I'm on the over 49.5 in this spot. Bengals, Raiders right now at, let's move this over. Right now we have these Bengals opening up at -1. They're now -1.5 at a bunch of books. Some still hanging in the 1. This total is now up to 50.5 or 51. I like seeing that. When we get over to the cash flow in this spot, we have the 24,286 tickets in. 71% of the tickets, 84% of the cash on the Bengals. Then we have 37% of the tickets, 93% of the cash on the under. Jeez, that makes me nervous. Take it away here, Millzy, Bengals Raiders.
Got it. So this one I did a little bit of digging on. I actually big Bengals fan right here. I've been kind of betting them all season, taking the points with the plus money. That's been one of my sleeper teams. But just to go over some things right now, the Raiders have dropped back-to-back games after a promising start in the season. Poor execution and off-field issues. Henry Ruggs was released after that DUR. We all know about that. The replacement that got him, not really, dazzling in the spot. Las Vegas is 2-5 in the last 7 games, 2-4 in the last 6 overall. Bengals on the other side, man, they're coming off a bye. They're just getting healthy. They should be able to move the ball with the Raiders deal, allowing 25.6 points per game. That's ranked 26 in the NFL. Cincy is 6-1 in the ATS the last 7 games against Las Vegas and 4-2 overall. I'm taking the Bengals -1, -110. All right, Mixon, field day. They got all the receivers back. They got Higgins in the backfield. They got Chase. And then they got Tyler Boyd. So I'm looking for the Bengals to come out and pretty much show the Raiders who they are. And pretty much the Raiders always show people who they are mid-season. They always start off hot, start off 3-1, 4-1. Then what happens? The Raiders are the Raiders. So go ahead, give me the Bengals. We getting them Bengal stripes out.
Now, right now, because we're giving everybody what's available at the market as we speak, the 1.5s are -110, the -1s are -117.
Give me -1.5.
-1.5 and -110. All right, let's go into the player prop market. We got MMA Locker Room in the house joining us, finally making his debut here on NFL Pub Hub. Take it away, Millzy.
Yes, sir. All right, man. So when it comes down to it, Hunter Renfrow over 5.5 receptions is a gift. All right, the lack of Henry Ruggs not being there, that's just going to get him at least 1 or 2 more catches. Yes, Henry Ruggs doesn't average a lot of catches. He only averages about 2 catches per game. But those 2 catches now, they're definitely going to be going to Renfrow. With the lack of Waller this year, I seen him on a milk carton, and I still haven't seen him since. So Waller is not the target that everybody's expecting him to be. He's not eating up 7 catches a game, getting 100 yards or anything like that. Renfrow is all they have. So I'm taking Hunter Renfrow over 5.5 receptions at a -130. You can get that right now at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code PUBSPORTS. Get your match bonus on.
Renfrow over 5.5 receptions. Are you moving on any player props on the Bengals side?
On the Bengals side, yes, sir. I'm taking Jamar Chase over 5.5 receptions as well. Same line, -130. When it comes down to it, he's went over 5.5 receptions 6 games already this season. He's the automatic target for Joe Burrow. That LSU connection is live in the NFL for everybody to see. And he's the number 2 ranked rookie NFL to win the Rookie of the Year. So definitely look for him to come out and try to show out.
Jamar Chase over 5.5 receptions. Hunter Renfrow over 5.5 receptions. Bengals -1.5. The community of new knowledge says everyone's on the Bengals. Every sports capper on YouTube is on the Bengals. Every analyst on ESPN and Fox is on the Bengals. That's never good.
I hear you on that. You know, it just comes down to this. You got to trust your gut sometimes,
Yeah. Look, I'm on the Bengals. And earlier in the week, the bigger bets were on Vegas, and the numbers will lead you in that direction. But with what's going on in Vegas right now with this football team, it's not about the numbers anymore. We'll see if this blows up in our face, but I'm right there with Millzy. Let's move on to Millzy's next spot, and then we'll get the Millz Moneyline Parlay. Millzy's next spot, Cowboys Chiefs. Everybody wants to talk about this game, 4:25 p.m. Eastern. We've talked about the market. We've talked where the cash is. We've talked it all out. Let's hear how you're going to make money off it.
Got it. Yeah, and this one, man. So I'm attacking this game straight with the over. All right. You got Kansas City Chiefs right now. I mean, you can't trust them. You can't put no money on them. You got Dallas Cowboys. They're looking like, pretty much the best stacked NFL team spot to spot. Shout out to Birdie for that. I remember him mentioning something about that. I tend to agree. But I'm not putting on money on none of these teams. The Cowboys tend to fold midseason. We all know they do the Raiders thing. So I'm going with the over on this game. I'm going to take the over, and now I'm taking one more player prop, and that's going to be Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions at a -143. Now look, and listen. Yeah, man, this guy, reception prop, -140, -150. Man, cash is cash, okay? And when we get it, we get it. Tyreek Hill went over 6.5 receptions, 7 games so far this season, and I don't see him slowing down. Yes, he's going to have that cornerback on him, Diggs, right? No, he's not. Diggs doesn't stick those type of receivers, so I definitely look for Tyreek Hill to get those 6.5 receptions.
6.5 receptions locked in. What was the juice with that?
It was -143 at mybookie.ag.
-143, and the over 55.5. That's dropped a full point in the last few hours. So over 55.5, -110 available right now. Now we move on to a money line parlay. I know you had a plan with this parlay, and there's been injury movement within it. So what have you decided to do?
Man. Gotta keep it real, man. This is my money line Millz Memphis Young Dolph paper route parlay. All right, man. So we starting off with Tennessee Titans money line. All right, we taking them one leg down. All right, we ain't changing. We're going to San Francisco 49ers money line. We ain't changing. And you know what? No Lamar Jackson. Fuck. I gotta stay. I gotta stay on the side. We taking the Ravens, man. Money line parlay. You parlay all 3 of those right there. That's a +130 right there for you.
Well, I think it's going to be higher than that because we're using only numbers that are available right now. So let's give you the Titans are available right now at Pinnacle at -440. The Ravens right now at Pinnacle are -118.
Wait. They got Huntley at quarterback. The UCLA quarterback that got drafted to Green Bay, went to Arizona. Oh, shit. Fuck, man. Okay. Bills. Fuck. No, I'm staying solid. Gotta stay solid, yeah.
Then you get the -281. So I will put that together in a parlay calculator and give you your money line parlay number, but it will be much higher than 230 at this point. So the Millz money line parlay: Titans -440, Ravens -118, Niners -280.01. There you go. So quick review of Millzy's action. You just heard the money line parlay. He's on the over 55.5 -110. Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions -143, and Cowboys Chiefs in the Bengals Raiders game. He's on Hunter Renfrow over 5.5 receptions -130. Jamar Chase over 5.5 receptions -130. Bengals -1.5 -110. Then he's on Thielen over 4.5 receptions -161. Packers moneyline -121. Then he's on Jeffrey Wilson Jr. over 77.5 rush yards -114. Deebo Samuel touchdown +110. 49ers -6.5 at -106. Millzy, my man, thank you so much for rolling with us. We love you very much. You got anything, any big interviews, anything you want to let us know that's coming up?
Yes, sir. I got an interview with Ode Osborne, Stockman into the locker room. Actually, the winner circle, victory circle. We're starting it new. After a UFC fighter gets a win, he comes in and talks to the locker room. I just want to say one thing. Pub Sports Radio. F the rest out. We the best out. Let's get it, baby.
There he is. Follow him on Twitter at MMA Locker Room. What a great guy. Rolling with us, making his debut, and a lot of picks on the board. Again, we track everybody's action, every single person who joins this show. He's the 19th capper that we've had on this show. And for accountability and honesty, we track every single person. We put all numbers out there. Let's move on. And we have a special treat for you. He joined us on week 1, and he went 2 wins and 1 loss plus 0.86 units. And he says, Jimmy, you send me the games you want me to cap. Send them to me. And that is what I've done. So this is not Loshak's best bets. This is what we've asked him to cap. Please welcome to the show, legend in the game, Loshak. Pete, what's happening?
How's it going, Jimmy the Bag? What a wonderful time of year, Jimmy. Can you hear me? Is my audio okay and everything?
Yeah,
good?
You're good.
I'm focusing really hard on college basketball, Jimmy the Bag. UPenn, take that. I'm on that one today. But, yeah, I'm ready for these 3 games, Jimmy. You sent me Vikings, Packers, Jimmy the Bag. Really? the Vikings pack. How can anyone cap that game? Well, I did it. I'll give you my opinions, Jimmy the Bag.
I look forward to them. We've talked about all of the injury situations in this spot. Aaron Jones being the main one. He's out, so you're going to see a lot of A.J. Dillon, and Patrick Taylor will back him up. Bakhtiari not in the lineup. He has to be in the lineup next week. We'll see if that is happening. Also, we have Breeland for the Vikings. Bashaud Breeland with a groin injury. He's supposed to be the guy that defends Devontae Adams. We don't know if he will be in the lineup. We expect him to be in the lineup. Pistol Pete, this has moved down to a 1-point spread. There are some 1.5s out there. This total's gone from 49.5 down to 47.5. There is a 48 at Pinnacle. This is wildly interesting. The Sharps are on, or maybe I should say were on, because money's flying in on the Packers at this number. So it was 29-36 before for the, or was it even more than that? I think it was 29-51. I believe it was right at the beginning of the show. It was 29% of the tickets and 51% of the cash. It was on the Vikings. That's changed drastically in the last hour. Now it's 29% of the tickets and 32% of the cash on the Vikings. Wow. Pistol Pete, Loshak, take it away.
I'm sorry. So what you said that late sharp money's coming in on the Packers, did you say?
Well, I can't necessarily vouch for it to be sharp money, but I can say that it was 29% of the tickets and 51% of the cash was on the Vikings. So in the last hour, that has now become 29% of the tickets and 32% of the cash. So all of the money seems to be coming in on the Packers.
Yeah, well, this is a tough one, Jimmy the Bag. Obviously, an extremely tough game. Very coin flippy, and if it were back in the day when teasers had value, I would definitely be liking Vikings teaser here. It's obviously going to be a game that's very likely to be very close throughout. And I was going to come on here and go out on a limb and give the Vikings, despite the fact that it's so scary in any situation to bet against Aaron Rodgers, and especially how the Packers have been doing ATS this year. Packers have some key injuries, and I think that will make it. And even Rodgers only practiced once this week, so I know it's not a big deal. But the Vikings are getting some guys back, and it looks like they are just kind of, in a good frame of mind right now on the upswing. And the line looks dead on to me, so I wouldn't necessarily bet it myself. But if I had a free bet here, I would take a shot with Minnesota. You're going to need Kirk Cousins to be methodical and effective. I'm going to take the Vikings here, I think, and I'll give it as an official play. I also saw some analytics that indicate that the Vikings are significantly better than what they've shown so far in terms of their results and their.
All right, we've lost Pete for a second. We'll see if we can get him back here. Lost his internet flow, so let's just pull him right now and see if we can get Pete back. Oh, it looks like he's backstage. Okay. Quickly, so again, just to clarify this spot, until the last, we can't say the last hour is sharp money. Earlier in the week, the sharps were all over the Vikings. The last hour, a ton of cash is coming on the Packers. It's got to be considered public cash. Pete, do you want the Vikings money line, or do you want the Vikings plus 1.5?
I'll take them. Give me the money line. What are you seeing? I got a little app here that uses the best lines around. I'm not sure how. Let's see. I'm seeing money line plus 110 at Bodog. Can we use a Bodog line?
Yes, you can.
I'll take that one. Minnesota plus 110. It's a little bit scary, but I think that Zimmer's going to have him prepared here. We need Kirk Cousins to be the good version, to be calm, to not push the ball downfield. But, I like Minnesota here, plus 110. I think it's an okay bet. Small value, Jim.
I love it. Now, I sent Pistol Pete Loshak the 3 games that I deemed the most exciting games on the board. I have moved on to this next game. I've moved on a side and a total. I don't know if Pete knows what I'm on, so let's not even mention it yet. Let's just hear what he's doing to see if it correlates at all with my action.
Bengals Raiders?
Yes.
Well, I mean, of course I know what side you're on. I mean, everyone's on the Bengals, and you are a person. So if you're a person and every person is on the Bengals, you're on the Bengals, right?
I am.
There you go. There you go. This is why I am who I am, Jimmy the Bag. There you go.
I'm also on the over. I got it at 49.5 on Tuesday, and it's now up to 50.5 or 51. But it does seem like, 37% of the tickets, 49% of cash on the under. So I'm not sitting here extremely confident on that spot. We've talked all about the issues surrounding this team, and there's really, from an injury standpoint, not that much bothering the Raiders. Jacobs and Ngakwe both practiced all week and are good to go. Pete, take it away. Bengals, Raiders. Oh, looks like we've lost him for a second. Pull him out. Okay, pull him back in. Okay, here we go. Pete, you're back in action.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's understandable why everyone loves the Bengals, although historically the Bengals have been bad off a bye. But, all kinds of issues with the Raiders, and especially defensively. We've seen the Raiders, have midseason collapses many times before, and, it looks like that's kind of what's happening right now. I would be a little bit more comfortable with the Bengals team total over than with just taking the Bengals minus the points. I understand why everyone is on the Bengals, and I don't disagree with it. There's just a lot of mental errors that the Bengals have committed this year, and with the bye, you just have to assume that they'll get those fixed. The Raiders have had the same kinds of issues. Everyone's on the Bengals. I don't disagree with it. Everyone seems to be on the over. I don't necessarily disagree with that. And to guard against like fluky things happening where the Bengals blow the Raiders out, but the Raiders don't score anything and it goes under, or the Bengals putting up a ton and the Raiders having a huge offensive game, which is absolutely not out of the question. With Carr and everyone, I would take the Bengals team total over, which is 24.5. What do you have, Jimmy the Bag?
Bengals team total over 24.5. I'm going to look at a couple different spots. I have Pinnacle up and Bet365 up. What do you have up right now?
I'm just looking at, I see, I'm seeing Bengals like 138, minus 138. You seeing that somewhere?
I've got over 25.5 at minus 120 at Bet365. At Pinnacle, let's see what we can give you. Bengals Raiders. Pull this up right now. Sorry, we're getting a little bit of feedback from your action. Team total live, 24.5 minus 138. Which one do you want? At Pinnacle, I have the over 24.5 minus 138.
I'll take that. What the hell? Yeah, I think that Burrow and them are going to have a fine game here. Not as confident that they'll win or that the Raiders won't put up a 30 spot as well. So I'll take the Raiders defense, I think, is just reliably vulnerable right now, and have to assume that the Bengals will come in and at least be able to put up a bunch of points. So I'll take that one. Bengals team total over 24.5 minus 138.
Yeah, locked in. Next up for you is 4:25 p.m. Eastern, another game that everybody wants to talk about. Dallas Cowboys at Kansas City Chiefs. Dallas Cowboys 7-2, 3-1 on the road. Kansas City Chiefs 6-4, 3-2 at home. We're at Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri. We've talked about this total going from 56.5 down to 55.5, and the Chiefs have been sitting at minus 2.5, although it has become a little more juiced as the week has gone on. Pete, take it away, Cowboys Chiefs. Oh, there we go.
One very coin flippy game. I am leaning Chiefs here. Obviously, Amari Cooper being out and the other injuries on the defensive line factor in there. KC, are they fully back yet after what happened last week? I'm not totally sure, but I think Mahomes is being more strategic and taking the short yardage that teams are going to give him. And again, it's got shootout written all over it, going down to the last couple minutes written all over it. So once again, even though I'm leaning Chiefs, and even though I can certainly understand that everyone's expecting, both teams to get to 40 or whatever, I would feel more comfortable with the Chiefs team total over. I think the Chiefs are going to have, a good game here. probably a great game offensively, and the Cowboys, are probably going to have a big offensive game as well. So I want to protect against the Cowboys putting up 40 and getting the win and the game going way over. Or it's possible that the Chiefs will have defensive schemes that'll hold Dallas down and it won't go over. So I don't really want to take that over the high total. I think the most reliable bet here is just that Mahomes and the Chiefs will be able to have a strong offensive game against the legitimately vulnerable Cowboys defense. So Chiefs team total over, which I think I saw at like 28.5, like 120 or something. Is
minus 107. Minus 107. So
yeah, because it's apparently the total's been getting bet down, right? It's not 56 anymore, right?
Yeah, it's
all right.
Yeah,
so that's concerning. I mean, it's also entirely possible that the Chiefs will try to slow the game down to keep the ball, to limit possessions, even though they're the favorite. Possible. I'm not exactly sure why the total's gotten bet down. The Chiefs have a terrible defense, so maybe that's why they want to keep, or at least as far as yards per play is concerned. So maybe they want to just keep their defense off the field as much as possible, and so that game plan will maybe they're planning to shorten the game, and people are aware of that. That's why the total's getting bet down. Not exactly sure, but I'm going to take a shot officially with the Chiefs team total over, and I would definitely be leaning Chiefs. Although 2.5 is getting up there, but I would definitely be leaning that way.
Pistol Pete Loshak joining NFL.
107, 28.5, 107?
Yeah.
All right. There's no 28s, though, are there?
Let me just see.
That's all right. 107 is fine. 28.5, 107 is fine, Jimmy the Bag. No problem.
Well, no, I mean, I can understand why you'd be looking for that. I've got this game up right now here on let's move over here to totals here at FanDuel, see if they can help you on points.
Yeah, go ahead. Just the defensive line injuries for Dallas are weighing somewhat heavily in my analysis here, and the Cowboys just kind of have a similar defensive philosophy to what they saw last week. What the Chiefs saw last week. So not sure how much they're going to be able to plan to change any of that, especially with the injuries on the defensive line. So it concerns me that the total's gotten bet down. Lean Chiefs, but my official bet will be the team total over for the Chiefs.
I love it. It's great to have you back in action, Pete. Thank you for joining us. Chiefs team total over 28.5 at minus 107. Bengals team total over 24.5 at minus 138. And the Vikings at plus 110 for Pistol Pete Loshak. It's great to have you back, my friend. Look forward to rocking with you on Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
There he is, Pistol Pete Loshak. Follow him on Twitter at P Loshak. We move on and we bring in, for my money, easily one of the most exciting cappers in the business. I love working with him. Please welcome to the show, coming to us live from San Diego, California. We got Sharpie in the house. Sharpie, what's happening?
Man, a little smoked out in here. Nothing crazy, bro. My name's Sharp, but it ain't not so sharp, bro. That's what the high school coaches used to call me, bro. So, last 2 weeks ago, I got raped. The week after, I got hit again. No, I'm down a few K these last few weeks, so we need to fucking right this ship, Jimmy.
Well, you know what? I had no hesitancy at all getting you back in as soon as possible. We tried to do it, not every week, every second week at the most. So I had no hesitancy wanting you to get back on the field. And that's what this is, Sharpie. So let's get right to work and know that we believe in you. Sharpie, you get your work started 1 p.m. Eastern. Houston Texans 1-8, 0-5 on the road. At Titans 8-2, 4-1 at home. Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm on the under, and it's made me nervous all week. I mean, from a capping perspective, I thought this was pretty easy. With the Titans, the way they're playing right now, they just want to get the win and then leave healthy. They're out Julio Jones, and we saw what the Saints did to A.J. Brown. 1 catch for 16 yards. They focused everything on A.J. Brown, so Marcus Johnson caught 5 passes for 100 yards. Then we have this running game that's missing the superstar Derrick Henry, and now Jeremy McNichols out with a concussion. So I've come so close all week to actually betting the Texans plus 10 or plus 10.5. I still haven't done that. because the sharp cash looks like it's against me all over the place here. Right now we have 62 with 49,391 tickets in, 62% of the tickets, 79% of cash on the Titans. And then 63% of the cash, 63% of tickets, 65% of cash on the over. That's actually coming down. That's coming down a little bit. So maybe I'm not in as bad shape as I thought I was. Here we have just a spread and total situation quickly here with this spot. We have opening up at 45.5. It's been at 44.5 since Tuesday. And you can get 10 or 10.5 depending on where you shop. Take it away, Sharpie, Texans Titans.
Let me unhit the mute. I brought the shirt out, guys, because plugs look like Baby Joker on Friday. Shout out to Young Dolph, baby. This is Memphis, guys. The Memphis Titans are about to play, guys. Let's go. I know it's Tennessee, but let's get in here. Deontay Foreman, 3rd-round draft pick of these Texans, okay? This is a revenge game for Foreman, and he's become the starting running back as of last week. He outsnapped Peterson 13-9 carries, and Peterson's 3 of 9 were inside the red zone. So Peterson is strictly a red zone back, and they ain't missing Derrick Henry no more, guys. This is Derrick Henry 2.0. If this guy is healthy, he looks like Henry, guys. He's a big, big back. He runs downhill, and he can catch the ball. No McNichols, a 10-point favorite. This guy gets 25 touches, like he gets the Derrick Henry role. I put him over 58.5 rushing yards, minus 114. And then on Friday, I played his anytime touchdown at plus 190. It's now at plus 130. I would still play it. I think Foreman has a game. I did put a little small sprinkle on Bovada, him to have the most rush yards in the 1 a.m. games at plus 1,400 too. I believe in Foreman today.
And this is, again, you can tweet out your action for Sunday and it work with the numbers that you locked in, and that's what you did. So you got a Foreman anytime TD at plus 190 that was available at DraftKings, and Foreman rush yards over 58.5 at minus 114 available at FanDuel.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Sharpie is on the board. Let's move on to his next spot. Washington Football Club at Carolina Panthers. We're at Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina, 57 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 4 miles per hour. Skee Profit is also talking about this game, but it hasn't come up yet so far on the show, so I love that Sharpie is talking about it. Sharpie, just to give you a heads up, if we have time, we did have a question in the chat on Chubb rushing yards and expectations of Nick Chubb today, and you're the best person for me to ask. So I'd like to ask you that when we're, in about 10 minutes or whatever it is, when we're at the end of your, and it's okay if you don't, but I just want to give you a heads up that I will be asking.
It's already on my board, so let's talk about it.
Okay, perfect. So Washington, Carolina here. We have Carolina opening up at -3. You can still get them at 3, but it's juiced. They're 3.5s mostly on the board, and those 3.5s are at plus 100. I know it's a crucial number. The total opened up at 43.5. It is now 43 right across the board. Real Deal Prime saying Chubb on my fantasy team. Load them up. If anybody wants to answer those questions in the chat, please do. Then we have the cash flow in this Washington, Carolina spot, 40,363 tickets in, 60% of tickets, 54% of the cash on Carolina, and then 57% of tickets, 59% of the cash on the over. Also, we have Maxwell Smart in the house, our NCAA basketball expert. Thank you for joining us, Maxie. So tight end Ricky Seals-Jones, hip is out. Defensive back Kendall Fuller, knee. Benjamin St. Juste, concussion. And wide receiver Curtis Samuel, hamstring. Offensive lineman Sadiq Charles, illness, all questionable. For the Panthers, they're a pretty healthy group. Cornerback Stanley Thomas Oliver with the toe injury is questionable. Sharpie, take it away. Player prop in Washington, Carolina.
We're going to go to the best fucking running back in the NFL, guys, when he's healthy. And they're still putting his numbers like he's not healthy. Christian McCaffrey, we're going to go rush receiving over 115.5, minus 110 on Caesars. It's like minus 115 anywhere else. It doesn't matter, guys. He's going to shatter it. The last 2 games where he's been back, both these games have been outpaced. No close game. It was a 24-6 and a 34-10. He averaged 13.5 carries and 7 receptions in those games with 55% and 73% of the snap shares. Guess what? McCaffrey's getting 100% today, guys. It's his 3rd game back. He ain't coming off the field. And 115 yards, this guy can get rushing or receiving, guys. This is just a stupid number, and we got to take advantage. I've hit it the last 2 games he's back, and they've only adjusted it by 7 yards. They're stupid, so we need to take advantage of them.
McCaffrey, rush and receptions over 115.5 at -110 at Caesars. Now, going back to that tough week you had on the show 2 weeks ago, you had a lot of bad luck. You lost a player that you doubled up in and an injury right off the top. I really think it was just one of those weeks that's going to happen throughout the year.
Bad luck. Keenan Allen got stopped on the 1 yard line. 2 tight ends scored from the Chargers, not named Cook. Oh, but okay, let it go.
But I'm just saying that that's going to happen once a year in a 16-week schedule, and that's why we wanted you back as soon as we could. So just backing you up, we believe in you fully and completely. McCaffrey rush and receptions over 115 yards, 115.5 -110. Next up for Sharpie, Indianapolis Colts 5-5, 2-2 on the road to Buffalo Bills 6-3, 3-1 at home. Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Again, a pretty healthy squads. You have Darius Leonard with an ankle hand injury, questionable, and now Nuke Worker let us know that Tremaine Edmonds' hamstring injury will not be playing, so he's not in the lineup. And we've only had one capper talk about this spot so far, but we also had Dennis Garcia in the chat backing the Colts, but it was Clint, started the Die Hard MMA podcast, who's moving on the Colts. He got +7.5 at -116, which was available at Pinnacle. Here we go. Sharpie, Colts, Bills, take it away.
Here we go. I actually like the Colts side here too, guys, and Jonathan Taylor's a big reason. He's not just a straight up first and second down back no more, guys. He's out there on third downs. He's catching the ball. So we're going to look towards Jonathan Taylor's reception yards at 22.5 -114 on FanDuel. His last 3 games, he's hit it 2 out of 3 times. In the one game that he didn't catch it, he had 8 targets on 6 catches, and he still didn't hit that number. You're going to target that running back 8 times with 6 catches. I bet you he hits that 9 out of 10 times. So in a game script where they have them down in the books by 7, and Taylor's going to be on the field 80% of the time, I think he catches 2-3 passes and easily gets us that 22.5 yards.
All right, we are locked in here. Just move this, sorry.
And while you're locking that in, I'm gonna run over that Chubb for that guy. Let's get into this. If you haven't been watching this show and following Bebsy put this on me. You got to play Chubb and Johnson, play both of them, play both their rush yards over. It's like playing Chubb and Hunt, guys. They're both going to eat. Why not eat off of both?
Interesting. And Bebsy's done that in the Cowboys Chiefs game with the idea that, you got to keep Mahomes off the field.
That's why I learned how to double up with running backs, and it's super smart. Like, if you're playing Dylan today, you should play Taylor too. I can't find his props, and I'm mad.
I agree. Patrick Taylor, speaking of, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I think
he's the best play on the board, and they're not offering him because I know how the Packers split their running back carries up. I just know how they do it.
No, you're absolutely right. And last year, it was unbelievable, his smash and grabs with the double up on rushing props. This year hasn't been quite as successful, but still, I love that you've taken note, respect. Jonathan Taylor, receiving yards over 22.5 at -114 at FanDuel. Realist Living says, did he say 22 yards? That's it? Yes, that is it. 22.5 receiving yards at -114 at FanDuel. Let's keep rolling. We move on to Saints, Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field. So with Kamara out, we've seen this move to 3. Pavone he bet it at 1.5, but again, we're giving out lines that are available right now as for our show. So he got the 3 for the Saints. We know that Armstead and Ramczyk will be out for the Saints as well. So no Kamara and no 2 of their starting offensive tackles. Take it away, Sharpie. What's your player prop look?
This right here is my best bet for the show, guys. It's Trotman, guys. If you don't know who Trotman is, it's the damn tight end of the New Orleans Saints. And he is going to pay for your Black Friday and Cyber Monday and your weed habit if you have a weed habit like me. Herein why. The Eagles are number 1 in receptions to the tight end, number 2 in yards allowed to the tight end. I've been trying to pick and hammer how I've learned throughout my experience this year and following my own bets how to attack the Eagles, guys. They play a cover 2 defense, and they allow the tight end to eat. With Simeon at quarterback, guys, the last 2 weeks, he's been targeted 7 and 6 times, and he's shattered this number they're giving him at 25.5 yards. 25.5 at minus 114 FanDuel. He's gotten 32 and 42 in his last 2 games. I expect him to easily get that again, and he's heavily used in this offense, so he should eat and eat easy today.
Troutman receiving yards over 25.5 at minus 113, available at FanDuel. And we have Sharpie's best bet here. And great job including in that Chubb question. Love it. Great work there. The final spot on our guy Sharpie's card: Cincinnati Bengals 5-4, 3-2 on the road. Raiders 5-4, 3-2 at home. Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. We had Pistol Pete talk about this game. We know where all the bets are in this game, and I can't wait to hear Sharpie looking at this very exciting spot, but from a player prop standpoint, take it away.
I got a good laugh from Pete when I was in the backstage when he was like, "Let me guess, you're on the fucking Bengals." That shit just made me die. I was like, damn. Oh, fuck. Maybe I'm going to be wrong too. And what do I have written on my play? Is this a trap? Well, it might fucking be, guys. And I'm going to run head into that trap because it's Joe Mixon over 65.5 rush yards at minus 114. Why? This guy averages 70 yards a game on the season, going up against the 27th worst rush defense, Raiders, allowing 129 yards a game. What the fuck? Whatever, bro. Sign me the fuck up. I'm going to run head on into that trap, and I think Mixon just eats today.
And you've got it locked in. Rush yards over 65.5 at minus 114. Let's review action
One quick.
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 to add.
For sure. Take it away. No, it's all good.
It's going to be in the same game. We're going to go to the Jaguars and 49ers, guys. This game right here, I have this to where if it wasn't an East Coast game, I would smack the Niners. I really still think the Niners smack. Here and why. Shout out to our boy, your boy, Noli fucking knows. This is my first under. I'm going to bet on a prop. Here and why. Dan Arnold under 44.5 yards for the tight end for the Jaguars, minus 110. He's got 4 straight games, guys, with 54 to 67 yards. Huh? And you're betting an under at 44? Huh? Well, me and Noli been drinking a lot. We've been smoking a lot, and we watch a whole lot of 49er games, guys. And the 49ers are number 1 in tight end yards allowed to the freaking defense. They lock down tight ends, guys. What did Pitts do last week, guys? Nothing. Okay? So I expect Dan Arnold to get shut down like the Niners have been doing. Their linebacking core is legit. And I expect them to be legit and keep and that's why I think the Jaguars get beat. Is he's so used to going to his tight end? What is he going to do? What is Sunshine going to do today if they lock up his best player?
Under 44.5 receiving yards at minus 110 for Dan Arnold. What's your last addition?
Last one is James Robinson, anytime TD at plus 130 on DK, guys. He's got it out. 5 out of 6 games, he scored a touchdown in the last 6 games. The only time he didn't, he played 1 series and got hurt. At plus 130, that's way better than a coin flip when he scored in 5 of 5 freaking games, guys. They're just being dumb. James Robinson is a receiving back and a running back, so he's got multiple ways for us to get into the end zone.
Millz agreeing with that look, says look for Robinson receiving prop over 3.5 at plus money. He loves that as well. Great stuff from our Sharpie. Robinson, anytime touchdown plus 130. Arnold under 44.5 receiving yards minus 110. Mixon rush yards over 65.5 yards at minus 114. Troutman receiving yards over 25.5 minus 114 is Sharpie's best bet. Then Taylor receiving yards over 22.5 at minus 114. McCaffrey rush and receiving yards over 115.5 at minus 110. And then the Foreman double up anytime TD plus 190 and rush yards over 58.5 minus 114 for the Tennessee Titans. Sharpie, great stuff. I believe that you will have a great day today. Back in the black where you belong. Thank you so much for rolling with us. Follow our man on Twitter at Sharpie's Bets. Sharpie, any last words for these great cappers supporting the show?
Yes, sir. Shout out to Young Dolph. Rest in peace, guys. I'm a real trap capper, guys. I count money better than I spell.
There he is, Sharpie in the house. All right, we close our show with the number 1 ranked capper on NFL Pub Hub at 13 wins and 8 losses plus 4.32 units. 2 of his 5 weeks on the show, he has swept the board, once with 5 games, once with 3 games. And here he is to join us right now. Please welcome to the show, coming to us live from Las Vegas, Nevada, none other than Skee Profit in the house. Skee, what's happening, my man?
What's up, Jimmy? I appreciate the introduction. You always make me feel good coming on this show. So hopefully I can get some good information on some of these games. I made a lot of these games earlier in the week, like I told you. I know we're doing things a little bit differently now, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so Skee's locked in his action on Monday. Everyone but one bet here. So it'll be interesting to see what he wants to still make official picks here on the show. And Skee, it's very easy to say nice things about you because you have earned it all. It's all earned. It's not being given. Let's get right to work. We got Skee Profit again, our number 1 ranked capper on NFL Pub Hub. We start at 1 p.m. Eastern. Green Bay Packers 8-2, 4-2 on the road at Minnesota Vikings, 4-5, 2-2 at home. US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We've talked all about this game. We've talked all about the injuries. On Monday, you locked in a bet. Tell us about that bet, and then talk to us about why or if you want it at the price that it's available right now. And that price that's available right now is it's sitting at -1 or -1.5 for Green Bay. And this total's gone from 49.5 to 47.5. Take it away.
Yeah, I would, it's tough for me. I just also wanted to say it's tough for me because now I have NBA going. I'm following college basketball. So I do my like right now, this is the time where I'm looking at next week's games for NFL. And I'm trying to get ready and make those plays early in the week so I can forget about football and keep up with basketball. So with that said, I don't know if I know Aaron Rodgers was questionable. I was assuming he was going to play in this game. Has he officially been ruled in? And this is where the line sits?
Yeah, he will be behind center at this point, and that's why it's gone to 1.
Okay. So, I locked in the Vikings at +2.5. I just think that the Vikings can run on the Packers team, and I think that their offense in general has been really good. He's been feeding Jefferson, and if you continue to do that today, I think they're going to score just fine. And I'm continuing trying not to overthink it. I knew this number probably wouldn't be here. I also teased it, so I think for the show that may be the way that I go. I teased it to 8.5, going through all the key numbers at 3, 4, 6, and 7. The Vikings haven't lost by more than a touchdown all season. And I can remember last year them beating on this Packers team. So home divisional dog, that's the way I want to go on this one. So officially, I'll tease it to another game I'll talk about later.
Okay, sounds good. So we are going to use it with the teaser, and that teaser is still valid and still in play here. And thank you, New Corker, for giving us the officially actives and inactives. And Ron Walsack, by the way, on Flacco under 226 passing yards. And no, I'm off NHL today, but I'll have Monday's action up, probably by 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock tonight. All right, so let's keep rolling up next. And
can I ask you something real quick, Jimmy?
Yes, my man, yeah.
I heard you on the Tuesday show. You said you weren't going to make any additions. And I did. I'm kind of, I was out drinking last night. I'm recovering. I didn't get to hear everything in this show. Have you made additions so far, or are you stuck true to that?
No. What I decided throughout the week is there will be no additions from angles that are brought onto the show. My ROI now a few years running is just not strong doing that. But I will make additions in the week that are solely based on my capping, and I did that. So okay. I did when the injuries and everything came out in a game that you are talking about in the end, in the Steelers-Chargers game, I did move on the over, and I did move on the Chargers team total over with the announcement that, there'll be no Minka and that. So at that point, so no Hayden, no Minka, and no TJ Watt. And then for the Chargers, no Christian Covington and Jerry Tillery, 2 defensive tackles there. So I did move on that, but because whenever I watch the show, there's so many things that I want to move on, but I've been capping it for, a week. So I just don't want to make any additions. It's not been working. So I've stayed true to that, and I will try to stay true to that week in and week out. So that's the only thing that I've done. I added that this morning. And then during the week, I added, as soon as that Flacco was announced in and Salah said all those things about why he has him in, I went on the under and the Jets team total under. So let's keep rolling with Skee Profit now. We've got a very, very interesting game. Again, Skee's beaten all these market moves, so we'll have to see if he wants to include them. He is on Washington football at Carolina Panthers, 57 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 4 miles per hour. We've talked about the injury situation. Just to remind everybody about the cash situation in this spot, 44,347 tickets in, 38% of the tickets, 43% of the cash on Washington, 56% of tickets, 59% of cash on the over. Take it away, Skee.
And this one still sits at 3 here.
I can get you a 3, but
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm usually more prepared than today.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I can get you the 3, but it will cost.
Okay. This one is probably not my most confident bet of the week, but I did get the Panthers at a flat 3. I just think that it's good energy with Cam coming back to Carolina. I look at the football team without Chase Young. I think there's another guy on the injury list for that defensive line, and Carolina getting guys back on the offensive line. So I just like what I'm seeing from that. I think Carolina's defense is solid, and 3 was pretty much just asking them to win in this game. And so I took it early in the week. Like I said, it's not my most confident look, so I won't add it now.
Okay, but it's still Pinnacle has dropped it back to 3. So it's at 3 at minus 116 at Pinnacle, while the other books are still hanging at 3.5. But you don't have to make it official.
Nah, I mean, like I said, I made all of these bets on Monday, and this is probably the least confident one. So I'm going to leave this one off.
No problem. Let's move on to the next spot on the board, 1 p.m. Eastern, New Orleans Saints at Philadelphia Eagles. We saw our guy Pavone very happily take the Saints at +3, even with their starting offensive tackles out and Kamara out. Very happily scooping up the 3 that's available right now. It did go down to 1.5 and is back to 3 with the announcement of Kamara. Skee, take it away, Saints Eagles.
I'm pulling up who the Eagles have played just from my memory. Like the way that the Eagles have been having any kind of success in the recent games is because I know they played the Chargers for one, and we're the worst run defense in the league. They've just been playing teams where it's very easy to have success on the ground. And I don't think that's going to be the case versus this New Orleans defense. So my bet is really mostly on the Saints defense. I think that they could win the game outright. Giving me +3 versus Eagles team where if the run game is not going, I don't have faith in Jalen Hurts to win the game for them. So I like the Saints. I think they can money line this one. This is a play that I'll definitely add if it's still 3.
Yes, it's +3 at just minus 107. Right now at Pinnacle. I'm going to see if that's the very best line here for the Saints here. +3 minus 107. And it is the best line available. The money line's now at +138 for the Saints. +3 minus 107 for Skee Profit on the New Orleans Saints. And we continue rolling on. 2 more spots that Skee wants to talk about. The next one, 4:25 p.m. Eastern, Arizona Cardinals at Seattle Seahawks. So this is going to be probably a game that we just talked about at this point. Skee got in with the Seahawks +2.5 at +101. I got in with the Seahawks at +2.5 at minus 110. And now with Kyler Murray being announced out, the Seahawks are either -2.5 or -3-point favorites. So we've destroyed this market move, and it feels good. Talk to us about this spot and the glory of getting your action in early in situations like this.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't turn into one of those, like Kelly calls the CLV participation trophies. Like, I got the best of the line. This is why you bet early. This is why you get in on Monday. I look at the game, and like I said, I try not to overthink it. I just say, Russell Wilson, the game that he had in the snow, first game back with his finger messed up, I just didn't want to overthink it. I think he'll play better in this game today. And secondly, like I'm looking at the Cardinals, I really didn't think Kyler Murray was going to play. These are things you got to look at ahead of time. Why is he going to play if the Rams just lost and they're 8-2 and he's still not 100%? They have a bye week coming up. So it was me just buying on all this stuff, locking in the Seahawks at +2.5, +101. where it's currently at, I really don't want to take or endorse getting the ass into the line. And, this is actually a game where I teased the Vikings. I teased them both up to 8.5. So I can't use this as the second half of my teaser leg. And I kind of gotta adjust. I don't know. I don't want to come in here and just make bad bets. Like I'm not here to gamble. I'm here to make good bets. So at -3, it's not a good bet anymore.
Absolutely right. The idea to be on the Seahawks at +2.5 was excellent work. Knowing that there's a bye week next week for the Cardinals, why in the world would they want to risk him in Seattle when he's got to call all these audibles at the line of scrimmage, and if he's calling them, there'll be confusion at times, and if that's the case, he'll have to leave the pocket. And just absolutely beautiful work on both our parts at +2.5. I love it. All right, let's move on to we just destroyed market moves too, because I got the Bears at +6. I mean, we know that
Nice.
that doesn't necessarily just equate to cash. Those of you guys asking about C-Mac and Babano, this Tuesday coming up, Bebsy is on the road in Alberta doing stand-up, and it will be C-Mac and Babano both joining me for the entire breakdown of the NFL card on Tuesday night. We move on to the final game tonight. Pittsburgh Steelers at Los Angeles Chargers, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. I'm so happy we're talking about this spot here, and very, very happy because no one else has talked about it yet. Injuries for the Steelers: Joe Hayden foot, Kevin Dotson ankle, TJ Watt hip knee, and defensive end Isaiah Loudermilk groin all out. For the Chargers, their safety Gilman quad, defensive lineman Linval Joseph shoulder, defensive back Mark Webb knee doubtful, running back Justin Jackson quad, defensive back Trey Marshall ankle out. And then we were wondering, because on Tuesday night we didn't talk and we didn't break this game down much because there was so much COVID issues going on, and it turned out that it didn't affect the teams too badly except for defensive tackles that the Chargers use, and that's Christian Covington and Jerry Tillery. They are both out. So Minka Fitzpatrick, sorry, I didn't add him in the issue. Sorry, he's also out with COVID. So you got Covington and Tillery out on one side, Minka Fitzpatrick on the other side. And Skee, you moved on this game on Monday. More information has come in. What do you think about your spot now? Take it away, Steelers, Chargers.
I'm a lot less confident, Jimmy. I'm not going to lie. All the players you're naming are defensive names. Like, they're going to miss. It makes me feel not as confident. But what I was looking at here is neither team really being able to take advantage of, the other team's weakness. Both top 10 passing defenses, and neither team is really good running the football. So I just didn't really see very many ways for either team to score. Now, you talk about all these guys on the defensive end being out. I mean, obviously it'll be easier, but that was my cap earlier in the week for the most part. I bet it under 47.5, and I'm assuming it's gone up with these.
It hasn't. Only the juice. That makes me nervous. So I moved this morning on it, and it hasn't. So it's still sitting at 47.5, slightly juiced to the over.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna just roll with I just still don't think they can do it. So I'll roll with it. It's one of the plays I made. Why not make it official on the show here? 47.5. It's not moving against me with all these injuries coming out. So I think the market probably thinks 47.5 is a good number.
They do. And that makes me nervous. Under 47.5. Oh, wait, maybe I can get you better than that. There's -104 at Pinnacle. I can't get you better than that. So, you know what? It's only Pinnacle at this point that's even moved, even juiced the over. So I guess we're just going to both be nervous tonight. I wish I could be watching this beside you at Caesars drunk. Under 47.5 at -104 for Skee Profit. And Skee, you have a 6-point teaser that you locked in. Tell us about it.
Yeah, you can't use it anymore. That's the sad part here. It was the Seahawks +2.5, teased up to +8.5, with the Vikings +2.5 up to 8.5. Now, I mean, you can still use the Vikings get through all the key numbers, but it's just a matter of who you would pair them with. So I guess what are you still getting for the Vikings right now, Jimmy?
The Vikings, the best spot on the board for you is a plus 1.5. So you could tease the Vikings to 7.5, and then the Seahawks you just turn into a plus 4.5.
Yeah, I'm not going to tease through 0, but the Vikings, you said plus 1.5.
Yes.
I'll add that.
Well, yeah, so that gives you the plus 7.5. You're going to make the Vikings.
Win.
Are you going to make the Vikings plus 1.5 official?
Yeah, I think they'll win.
Ooh, all right, that's exciting. Okay, so let's take this teaser off the board, and that is the Vikings plus 1.5, and I believe that was at minus 117. I'm gonna double check that here at Pinnacle. The Vikings. Oh no, that's even moved to plus 1. Let me just check. That's moved to plus 1. The best I can give you actually is.
And I really don't want to make bad bets, Jimmy. I feel like I've already done my work.
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree. You can get Pavone added the money line. Pavone is in a similar situation. He was on Vikings plus 2.5, so he added the Vikings money line at plus 108, and then Pete came in and did the same on the Vikings money line. He got plus 110. And
the money line right now is still in that range?
The money line on the Vikings right now, as we speak, is let me just double check here, is at plus 108 at Pinnacle right now.
All right, I'll do that.
All right, plus 108.
But you guys just know when I tweet my recap later, I have Vikings plus 2.5, but I do think they win the game.
Yeah, no, I hear it, and thank you for. It's very tough. You're put in a very tough spot, but you know what? I think this adds value to the show. Watching a capper who gets in early and then just sees what the market is now and discusses it. So I think that this is actually going to help all of our friends and the cappers that watch this show. So although it makes it more difficult for your record, I do think there's a ton of benefit for us all. So
yeah, I'm not here for the record. I'm not here to compete. I mean, I want us all to win. I mean, that's all I'm here for.
No, I love it. I absolutely love it. Skee Profit, our number 1 ranked capper on NFL Pub Hub. Let's review the action he's moved on. And again, it can only be stuff that's available right now. Skee on the show, 13-8 plus 4.32 units, and he swept the board in 2 of his 5 weeks. He is on. He has a great number on the Vikings, and he has moved on the money line at plus 108, but he did get it at plus 2.5. Then Washington, Carolina, he's going to stay off as an official pick. He did take the Saints plus 3 at minus 107. The Seahawks, he got at plus 2.5 at plus 101. He's not going to take the number available now. He is on the under 47.5 at minus 104, and he did still take the Vikings money line. Birdie, thank you so much. Brooklyn Funk Project, all of you guys. We have nothing without these great guests that join our show and the great cappers in the chat that roll with us. Skee, can't wait to work with you again, and Mr. Peter Loshak on Tuesday on the NBA card. You're being exceptional there as well. Thank you so much for all your time and energy. Follow this man on Twitter at Skee Profit. Are you going to go out to the books to watch tonight?
I'm probably going to start right now. Probably head over there because I have a lot of games in action for this morning slate. And I see Razor in the chat asking, a couple people mentioning NBA. Just know somebody's favorite team is going to get right tonight. That's all.
Ooh, it's Lake Show. There he is, Skee Profit in the house. Skee, spectacular work. Thank you for rolling with us. Dennis Garcia has a look at Woodbine, 1-7, 137, exacta and the 7 to win. And Timothy Murray's horse is running in the second race at Woodbine. Timothy Murray, a great friend of the show, great friend of Razor Sharp's horse racing show. He's in, I believe he's the 8th horse in the second race. He's the favorite. Morning line 5-2. So that is at Woodbine as well. Let's review action for everybody here. And again, I'm making no additions, so there's no need for me to panic. Just be relaxed, for me. I'm on the Bears +6 and -110. Not flush, as Caden said. Delski Lakers suck. Bears +6 and -110. Say what up to Caden for me. Not flush. I love him. And I'm going to be hanging out with you guys here in a few short weeks when I get down to LA for the holidays. Bears +6 and -110. Houston, Tennessee under 44.5 and -110. Can you pop this up for me, Jose, as well? Jaguars +6.5 and -110. Bengals -1 at -110. Cincinnati, Vegas over 49.5 -110. Seahawks +2.5 and -110. Giants +11 -110. Miami, New York Jets under 44.5 -110. And I got Pittsburgh Chargers over 47.5 at -110. And I got the two team totals. Jets team total under 19.5 at +100. Chargers team total over 27.5 at +100. Bebsy's on Detroit, Cleveland under 44.5. Dolphins -3. Cincinnati, Vegas over 50. Cowboys +2.5. That was a plus line. Arizona, Seattle under 49. He beat the market. We did a nice job beating the market on Tuesday. And then Thielen touchdown for Bebsy at +160. Gesicki over 51.5 yards. Receiving yards. Elliott over 66.5 rush yards, and Pollard over 33.5 rush yards. Then Alex Pavone was first up here. He gave us the Vikings +108. Saints +3 at -116. Jaguars +6.5 -104. Chiefs -2.5 -110. Seahawks -2.5 -122. Then Clint started Die Hard MMA podcast, gave us Colts +7.5 -116. Ravens -1.5 at -110. The under 45.5 at -110 in Niners, Jaguars, and his teaser was the Vikings +7 and the Cowboys Chiefs over 49.5 at -110. Then next up for us was Millzy. He gave us the Niners -6.5 -106. Deebo Samuel touchdown at +110. And Jeff Wilson Jr. over 77.5 rush yards -114. Then the Packers money line at -121 and Thielen over 4.5 receptions at -161. Then we have Chase over 5.5, Jamar Chase over 5.5 receptions -130, Hunter Renfrow over 5.5 receptions -130. Cowboys Chiefs, he gave Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions and over 55.5 points at -110. And then he gave us a money line parlay that I will work out as the exact number, but it was Titans -440, Ravens -118, and Niners -281. Then Pistol Pete Loshak gave us the Vikings at +110. The Bengals team total over 24.5 at -138. The Chiefs team total over 28.5 -107. Sharpie joined us to give us Donta Foreman, Tennessee Titans, anytime touchdown +190. Rush yards over 58.5. McCaffrey rush and receiving yards over 115.5 at -110. Jonathan Taylor receiving yards over 22.5 at -114. Troutman receiving yards over 25.5 at -114. That's his best bet. Dan Arnold under 44.5 receiving yards. James Robinson TD at +130 and Mixon rush yards over 65.5. Then to close up shop, Skee Profit, and he moved on the Vikings at +108, the Chargers, Steelers under 47.5, and the Saints +3 -107. And Skee, I can add you the Panthers at -3, right? That's -3 at -116. So you don't need to bother with that. So Skee in the chat saying add Panthers still. Let's get you that 3 that is available right now at -116 as we speak. So don't worry about the 3.5. Let's get you that Panthers at -3. Nutflush Allen in the house says that he's on that as well. So let's add that right now for Skee. So Skee's on the Panthers -3 at -116 as well. Marcelo on Gallup anytime TD. Big shout out to my producer Jose Bouquet on the 1s and 2s. He does a spectacular job, and I love working with him. And then all the cappers in the chat, you make this so special. Charles Darwin, Marcelo, Mark Schillingberg, Terry Walker, Mark Nick, Nut Flush, Alan, Mark Nick again, Alex Gagnon in the house. Hold My Beer, Sammy, Jay Calmer, Gerald Jones, Sean Thompson, who is looks worth considering. He says over 45 in Carolina, Washington, over 44 Jets, Dolphins, and under 45 in Niners, Jacksonville. I am on the under in that Jets Dolphin spot. It makes me a little nervous that you're going against it. Birdie, Brooklyn Funk Project, Tasha, Jason Folk, Razor Sharp Picks, AB, for show 94. Craig Wood, all you guys, Stevie Steves, Michael O'Brien, so many of you guys. Thank you so much for all your hard work, insights, humor. Thank you for making this show special. On behalf of all of us at Pub Sports Radio. Let's get that cash today. Let's have a giant week. Week 11 is ours. Let's get fucking paid.